think I once heard a quote from Jeff Bezos about this, is that he used to say he only makes 5 or 6 decisions a day, and that's it. That's his whole day's job. And like, you're thinking about, like, really, does that really work? The answer is no. It is really serious work, because his 5 or 6 decisions are major decisions for the company. One of the things when you own a business is it's very hard to make certain decisions, and they're very difficult to make. It's a little hard to describe them, but as you run through business ownership, you'll start seeing that some of these decisions are not easy to make. One of the things that happens as a business grows and gets bigger, you end up in situations where you have to maneuver your staff around from where they were before to where they are now. So for instance, a person who is particularly a project manager within your company and now has to be an office manager or something of that sort, but you never really gave them the tools to actually do that, they get stuck in limbo between the two particular positions that they're in. So they can get stuck in a project manager / office manager position, and they're not really doing the right thing on either side. And what ends up happening is you end up with a situation where they don't know how to actually manage a position, and they can't manage the position properly because the problematic aspects of the position is that they're kind of stuck because you don't have enough staff, you're growing the staff slowly, you're trying to grow the business. At the same time, you're creating a situation where automatically you're going to end up in a situation where your staff does not have the ability to accomplish what they need to accomplish. And as an owner, you have to really be able to make that decision and say, you know what, I need to change that. I need to have the ability to go move in there and actually say, you know what, I need to make that decision to change that to be able to help them. And sometimes it costs money. And one of the issues when it costs money is that you don't really realize is that you want to spend that kind of money on a project. And you're like, okay, now I might be losing money going forward. How do you keep that dynamic alive and keep on the ball to being paying attention to all these things? It's very, very difficult. And one of the things my partner and I spent a lot of time on, and I think that is extremely necessary in every business, is complete tracking at all times. You have to be able to track your business financially. You have to be able to track your business from a perspective of project intake. You have to be able to track it from proposal writing and therefore projections. You need to track it from projections on when you need more staff for those projections that you're projecting. And that has to be able to be done in real time at all the time, because you may do quarterly analysis and then go, wait, I'm a quarter behind schedule. Quarter behind schedule can be very expensive very fast. The more employees you have, the more expensive it gets. You have to really have metrics to know where you are and pay attention to those metrics. And those metrics have to be done in real time at all times. Part of the fight that we have internally at times in the company is, oh, but this particular metric's working and we're using it. Is it really working? Is it really? And at times you may have to do something which I call you have to step back. You know, a lot of times when you're in something, you get cultivated and you have the situation where you get stuck in it and you're paying attention to the details. It's very, very hard to pay attention to the big picture while you're sitting in the nitty-gritty. And that's because I gotta wake up in the morning. I gotta get to work. I gotta get in my car. I gotta get gas in my car. I gotta answer that email. We're so busy paying attention to the small, minute components, we forget that we gotta take a step back, and a far step back. Really say, I gotta look at this from the perspective of a much bigger picture. I think I once heard a quote from Jeff Bezos about this, is that he used to say he only makes like 5 or 6 decisions a day, and that's it. That's his whole day's job. And like, you're thinking about, like, really, does that really work? The answer is no. It is really serious work, because his 5 or 6 decisions are major decisions for the company. You need to take 10 steps out, 15 steps out, take a look at it, really pay attention to it, and then make a decision for the overriding components. I think I really want to talk about this, maybe we talk about this at a different time, is that I want to really give people an understanding of what it means to think about the future and think down the line. And as architects specifically, our job is to really try to do our best to predict the future. But as a business owner, you really need to really pay attention to the future. What do you want your company to look like? What do you want it to pay attention to? Pay attention to those bigger picture items. And bigger picture items are really what makes a company tick. Yeah, the small minute things, how I'm dealing with cash flow and all these things, those are really important. But if the big ticket items are not working, the all minute items are going to get you to a big ticket item that's not going to work. It kind of defeats the purpose. You have to see that. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more when I talk about Okeechobee and the project that we're dealing with in Glades County, which is building a city, which is an understanding of actually looking at big picture and small picture and big picture and small picture all at the same time. And everything has to be thought out in both the small picture and the big picture at the same time. And someone who has to have that pay attention to is really the job of the business owner. And that's really what they're there for, is to really stand there and look at everything, pay attention to everything at the same time. And you can't make a mistake because a mistake is very expensive. And we don't like spending, we don't like losing money, Now, there are mistakes, there's always mistakes in every single project, but you do your best to predict that future. And I really want to hone in on this future concept at a later date, a little bit more, understand what it means to predict the future. But the component of understanding your business in and out, watching it happen and watching the movements, watching the components to it, watching the cost components to it. Like, one of the things we're having a very big issue with, and we've spent a lot of time looking for this, is that management softwares that are built into companies like Asana, there's a couple other companies in there that do a lot of things. They're all built on the management side. And then there's other ones that are built on the financial side. Like you have QuickBooks and things of that sort. They're built from the financial side. And they may be adding small little things that are related to financials, to the management side. And the management companies are adding a little bit pieces to the financial side. The problem that we're having is that they really need to integrate the management of the company tied to the finances of the company, and they need to talk to each other consistently. So you know that my management side is telling my financial side that it's a healthy company. My health of the company is telling my management side that you guys need to inform us, and they should really be informing each other the entire time. I think with the advent of AI, you'd think by this point someone actually just click a button, I'll be done. But it's not the case. And we've asked many different companies to do this, and every company's like, well, I don't want to do this part, I don't want to do that part, I can't integrate this part. That is our biggest issue. Our biggest issue is the combination. My partner has a sister that worked at a very, very big company, and says the biggest part of R&D that they spent on was trying to get this to work, and they spent millions upon millions of dollars. They couldn't still get it to work, to have the two sides talk to each other. So who's doing that? Who's paying attention? You as a building, as a owner of the company, needs to really pay attention to those things, because that is about the health of your company, the growth of your company. And what takes a company to grow is to keep it healthy and to keep your employees happy. And we'll talk about employee retention, employee happiness at a different time, but these are all things that make a business mesh, flow, do well, grow, expand. And with that, I hope we can expand our listenership, and please subscribe for more information about business ownership and business management as we keep going forward.